Welcome to Invisible Glitter, the podcast for women aging with attitude and sparkles. I'm Sandy Parker, founder of the Pink Lady Posse, coach, cheerleader, and your connector in chief for whatever you need to go from what now to what's next. Each episode brings real stories of women rewriting their lives, leaving us with tools we can use and inspiration that motivates. Because your next chapter is not about winding down, it's about lighting up. And the most powerful glitter is the kind no one sees coming. Let's go. I am Sandy Parker. I am so happy to have with me a woman that I respect, love, and appreciate. Brooke, hello.
Hi, Sandy. Thanks for having me. And the respect and love is mutual for sure.
Thank you. Well, tell me just a little bit about you so everybody knows where you land in the world.
Sure. So, I am a business coach, a podcast producer, and a community builder. And so, I show up in the world in the ways of helping streamline and growing businesses to getting voices out over podcasts. And we have Liminal, which is something that you've been with from the beginning. And we have lots of different shows and people, different hosts. And then also community building with networking and with the passions that go along with these entrepreneurs and how those communities build. So that's the world I show up in.
And you know what I love is that, and I was talking to somebody the other day, having women who have your back and like you really trust them and they're really skilled. Like you don't trust them because they're needy. You trust them because they are the ones you go to when you don't know what to do.
Absolutely. And it's almost been where it's hard to meet new people because it's like, man, I have such a tight group of well-oiled machines all around me, and our people like the Sandy, you and all the people around us. I can name people that really it's a mutual energy exchange, right? That goes into business and creation and video. I'm saying video because I'm seeing my video up and down, but that's just the craziness of this computer. But the energy exchange of building things and being in mission-driven businesses and making impact, and we're all in it to win it, and we're all in it together. So it's definitely been extremely humbling and brings me lots of joy to see how it all plays out.
You know what? My friend has an expression, rare air. We live in rare air where people really care about each other and really go this distance for what's needed, right? Like it's so sweet. And, so how we came about this podcast where I'm going to be answering questions. Brooke said, well, you should tell us about your bucket list and your love and meeting Steve. And I'm like, I'm not going to sit here on a computer and spill the beans. So you're going to have to ask me the questions and I will be glad to answer. And that's what this is about. So I'm here to answer any question you have, Miss Brooke.
Well, I want to know a lot because this is such a special gift and community that you're building that I feel like a lot of people, everybody should know about it. And I know I've surrounded with women that fit right into the criteria of this, who need this, who want this, who say they're looking for it, and they don't know how to jump in. And so I'm like, I think we need to know more about you and why you do it and what you're seeing out in the world and where this is all coming from. So the first thing I've been wanting to know for a while is what inspired you to even launch Pink Lady Posse?
I'll tell you, when you have a need for yourself and you meet it, you're sure someone else needs it, right?
Absolutely.
So I got married. I sold everything from my house where Rodney and I live with our kids. I moved to Bowie to marry Steve, who's amazing, and that's a whole story in itself. But I had both my knees replaced in a town where I don't know anybody. And I'm sitting in the house and I'm like, I got to have a posse. And isolation is deadly. The Surgeon General says women who isolate has the same impact on their health as smoking 2 packs of cigarettes. You start to decline, you start sitting on the sofa too much, you stop moving, you stop going out, you stop connecting. And we just think, well, kind of been there, done that. But the truth of it is ending your life in a really slow decline. And some people just decline. And I know you've seen that.
It's a miserable way for me for me, it looks like a miserable way to go when you're waiting on death, or when you just simply think you've don't need anything else. It's just like, well, then it's not like you're just gonna die. It's a really long, not fun picture if you're not enjoying it. And I want to circle back to something you said about the health benefits of being loneliness, and about when you said the health benefits, it's like smoking 2 cigarettes a day. It's 2 packs of cigarettes a day.
It is disastrous.
Yes.
And we think, oh, I'm just sitting here, I'm just watching TV, but the truth of it is evidence of a slow decline. And not only that, but a fall of a woman over the age of 60 has some enormous death rate, like 20% at 60, 40% at 70. I mean, like, it's the number one indicator of early death for women is a fall.
Yeah. And I can see why, because it goes into all the things that happen when you fall and what happens next. One thing that I learned years ago, about 12 years ago, I started studying the impact of thought. Okay. And then fast forward, I didn't put much into it after a while. And fast forward recently, here in 2025, I have really seen up close and personal all the things I was learning 12 years ago about thought. And when things are coming at us, we're watching the TV, that's inward, that's into us, right? It's flow in. We are watching reels, it's flow in. Even listening to a podcast, it's flow in, right? And to be alive and to live is to push flow out, is to communicate outwards. And thought, where thought comes in, is that our brains weren't designed to just sit there and think. They were designed to, in a moment, when there's a problem or when there's something happening, to make a quick decision and move on. And when we've got into this thought culture, and we sit around and we think and we think and we think, and the health hazard to that is not only depression, but it's dementia, it's depression, it's a loss of thriving and living. Like, there has to be a constant two-way flow of communication inside a human in order to live and thrive. And I think that is also another thing that can impact people who are just sitting around.
Yeah, and the one thing I have, and I actually don't know how I got it, is I'm an action babe. I have a thought.
You are. I learned that about you when you started Liminal. I was like, oh my gosh, Lynn Schuster Williams, look out, because Sandy Parker is in here. And if, for those listeners, Lynn Schuster Williams is a common person that we both know and we both love and speak highly of. And she has been by far the biggest action taker of anybody I've ever met.
Hey, you give me a task and I'm on it. But here's the deal. There's a thing called action confidence. And there's a reality that creativity is doing something that might not work. If you know it's going to work, it's just management. So if you think of the path is created while walking. I used to tell people, God can't steer a parked car. You got to back out of the driveway and get rolling. But so many people are stopped. They're stopped in inaction. They're stopped in, I don't know. They're stopped in, what if? They're stopped in. And one of my most favorite testimonials is a woman who came to She Rocks. And she was just coming because she told me she would. She was going to stay 5 minutes. She stayed 2 days. And she is like on fire. She manages a string of Airbnbs, but because she didn't have a high school diploma, She had herself in the gutter for life.
Mm.
And she is on fire for life.
Yes.
So really, it's about it. And I think if you listen to the episode with Jessica Marie, she says everything has two paths. First an idea, then a reality. Even this cup was somebody's idea, and then it became a reality. So ideas are great, thoughts are wonderful, and action is the way to get what you want.
Yes. Yes, I love to talk. So it reminds me of in the spiritual world, we can get often caught up in that just manifestation. Manifestation will happen to sit there and that you shouldn't extra effort. And many people, I was one of them for a while, heard that as you is not action. But now they're saying and they're clarifying even more. And now what reality is, it's in the action that the co-creation happens. It's just efforting. It's when it's hard, when it's not like hard
No,
to push through.
not
You gotta be real
hard.
careful. Yeah, we gotta be real careful the way I said that. It's in the going against the resistance that that prolongs the what you're looking for.
It's in
Right?
the believing and not having the confidence. I like to say, I'll take 10 steps forward and I trust the universe's GPS. Proceed to the route. You are off the route. But I'm not gonna wait to take an action. And the other thing, I used to lead workshops about synchronicity. I would love to go around the room and say, where did you meet your spouse and where did you meet or the place you live? And people would start out, it was the weirdest thing. I knew a guy, and then he said, but people were speaking, I need a place to live. People don't walk up to you and go, you need a place to live. You have to be driven by your own believing in your own desire. Like, I'm driven by desire. What I want, I'm going to get it.
Yes.
And I'm
Yes.
going to
Yes.
go do what I have to get it. And I love that. I love doing that. And I love really teaching people. And I have so many testimonials of people like even Diana who call me, I can't restart my computer. And now she's number two in her country, in her company. And then she attracted this guy, and now she got a running buddy. Who you become when you're in action is what attracts what's going to come your way. I mean, unless it's the UPS guy, it's not going to be at the front door. I love that whole thing about believing in it, formulating the ideas of it, creating a clear picture, and then going to do everything you can to get it.
Love that. And what a clear path you just created for all of us. So, when you are developing this community and as people come into the Pink Lady Posse, what is it that you think you're providing inside the community? All these things we just talked about, what can they find?
Okay, so connection is vital. Loneliness kills, belonging heals. So, belonging to a place where they matter, they're seen, they're heard, they're wanted, regardless of their location, which I love the virtual, and just by being one of us. It's like I don't know if you saw the movie Grease, but the Pink Ladies. I actually have an affirmation from Frenchie that said, "Oh my, Sandy, this is so fabulous. I'm going to make you an honorary Pink Lady because women need each other."
If you all go to Sandy's website right now, pinkladyposse.com, you will see Frenchie talking to Sandy Parker Martinez.
Yeah, okay, so how crazy is that? So let me tell you about how Pink Lady Posse started. There were, how life gives you bread crumbs, right? You go, okay, so I had just done a seminar where my color was pink. And I'm like, I don't even like pink. But I had these drawings of these pink ladies sitting at my desk for like a year. And then this lady goes, wasn't your wedding dress pink? I'm like, oh yeah. Isn't your phone case? I'm like, I said, I'm a red. She goes, well, what about red plus enlightenment? Red plus light is pink. I was like, oh, okay, I can deal with that. Then I'm sitting here with my knees up in the air because I just had knee surgery. And I thought, everybody needs a posse. The Pink Ladies were cool. Wonder if Pink Lady Posse's available. It was available as a .com, a Facebook, a Twitter, a Pinterest. It was like life had saved the lane. And I'm here sitting in my office and you know what? That's it. I'm putting my foot in the sand. Here we go. And I just started inviting people. Do you want to be in a group of cool women, the Cool Kids Club, right? Where we all care about each other, just like Frenchie said. And they were like, yes, yes, yes. So we're 387, I think, right now, but we're about to boom because we're adding some new features. But way back, that was the intention. No woman needs to be alone without a posse.
Mm. So if you had to sum up your mission statement in one sentence, what would it be?
Today is the day to live your best life, which so corny. It's like, and I'm a widow, right? My husband died. He tried so hard to live. I mean, it took real effort every single day for till the last day he couldn't live anymore. All I have to do, Brooke, is wake up and say, what do I want? I get a whole day. And all I had to do is take a breath.
What do I want when I
What do
wake
I
up?
want? And I talked to a lady yesterday. She's fascinating. She's going to be in an episode, and she has for 9 years traveled as a solo digital nomad, as a 70-year-old woman, traveling the world because that's what she wants. Why not have what you want? And we talk about what do women want? Well, money, love, friends, connection. I mean, the same stuff we need to thrive. And so
Yeah.
why I added the podcast, just so you know. So Brooke said, I'm doing this new podcast channel. I want you to be on it. I'm like, oh, Brooke, oh, I don't know. Anyway, the first podcast, I was like, I'm in love with this because you can deliver a piece of inspiration to another human being. And you can literally say to someone, hey, have you listened to Invisible Glitter? It'll lift you up. And then my girlfriends say, oh my gosh, I listened to Invisible Glitter this week. It was fabulous. So I can be lifting people up out there without having to be one-on-one, which is trading time for money, and nobody has time for that. And that leads them to the Pink Lady Posse, where they find belonging and caring and somebody who really wants them. So it was a big missing piece that I didn't know was missing. Tell you the truth.
I have learned that so many of us can find your real alignment and passion in podcasts and speaking. So why Invisible Glitter? Why the name?
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you asked me that. So I used to be a speaker in a transformation program, and I had a team of people, and we had hundreds of people out in the audience, and so we're going to go, right? I said, y'all, let's get ourselves so full of invisible glitter that when we walk in the room, we just start spraying it out and everybody feels it. And then I realized that on any given moment, I have my own invisible glitter. So, you saw me dancing to Give Me Your Dimple. And I'm like, I have my own invisible glitter. Nobody else has to know it. Nobody manages it. Me, myself, and I have the choice at any moment to have the life we want.
It is a choice at any moment to have an invisible, to reveal your visible glitter. So who is someone that's inspired you that has invisible, or would you say you have invisible glitter, or that you let it shine, or like what would you say actually happens there?
I would think it's very similar to breath. It's easy to overlook because we're just going through the day.
Mm-hmm.
But if you stop and take a deep breath and hold your breath and you go, oh, I can feel my heartbeat. Oh. And then, so invisible glitter is just your choice with yourself to be totally delighted at any minute and just go, oh my gosh, I'm alive. Woohoo! And throw some, I mean, it's all conceptual, but it
Right.
changes how you feel.
100%. So who has inspired you with their invisible glitter?
I would say people who made choices for what they want. I'll give you an example. There's a beautiful attorney in Houston. I had an old program called She Rocks. It was a boldness camp, and where it was like rock and roll was firewalking. I mean, it was terrible. So anyway, this woman came from Houston because she wanted to sing on the stage. And she had her little dress. She was an attorney. She had her little dress, her little pumps. And man, she sang her heart out. And, I got a testimonial how fabulous it was, blah, blah, blah. She left to go help her daughter address wedding invitations. And she was tragically killed on the way back to Houston. And her brother at her funeral said, I don't know what you did to her, but I've never seen her happier.
Mm.
And it's because she chose to live her life. She made the decision. I mean, it was just a 2-day workshop. There's a million workshops all over the place. She said in Houston, as a very respected attorney, I'm going to go to a rock and roll boot camp.
Mm.
And I'm going to sing Let It Be on a stage in my little pumps. And I have a recording of her living her boldest dream. I mean, come on. Right? I mean,
I'm seeing the picture.
it's amazing. I have her video and I go, she was so brave. And that's the thing, we get a little bit older, we don't see as well as we used to. We get a little cynical or skeptical and we stop dreaming.
I don't want to drive that far. I don't want to sit that long. I don't want to go that out all night. I don't want to have someone take care of my dogs. I can name the list.
I don't want to meet a creepy guy.
Yeah.
I'm doing the
I
dating
don't need
thing
more
now.
friends.
Well, and the crazy thing is, people say, oh, they're all creeps. I go, really? I met my first husband online dating. I met Steve on online dating. So it's sort of a myth buster. It's kind of like that's not going to really hold water very long because, if you want to hold on to that story, which of course we all have stories we're holding on to for dear life. I'm too old, I'm too fat, I'm too this, been there, done that, I'm a has been, the kids are grown. I mean, oh my gosh, there's enough to last for 14
So,
podcasts about that.
right. And that's what you're going to do. So I know all of this is very inspiring and it's very exciting and it's inspirational in a way that makes people might want to move a little bit. I also know that with all good things, there has been struggles behind them. What would you consider? Yeah, there's a light and a dark, right? There's like the other end of the stick. And I have even found that sometimes the best things had the hardest struggle in somewhere in it. Not always, but often.
Oh, yeah.
But what would you say has been one of your biggest challenges about getting here with Pink Lady Posse and Invisible Glitter and building the community and getting this launched and moving forward? Like, what has been a challenge for you?
It's interesting because I did this exercise this morning with my breathing group. And the exercise was go back to your 5-year-old and tell them something you'd wish you could have told them then.
Mm.
Oh man, it was powerful. I even wrote it down. It was like, what I see is mine to see, and I'm the perfect one to see it. Now, I know that's kind of abstract, but then I thought, well, what I feel is mine to feel, and I'm the perfect one to feel it. So now I'm going to answer your question. All I wanted to do was get married and have a baby all my life. Like I played with baby dolls. I could not wait to have a baby. And then I got into the magazine business with Vogue and Southern Living, and I'm living the life. And I had the epiphany at 38 that if I don't get off the road, I'm never going to get married. So I
Mhm.
quit my job with Southern Living without another job, turned in my company car. I just thought, you know what? I'm going to commit to the path I'm on. So I met Rodney, had a baby, inherited this incredible Bonanza family, which was amazing, and had the time of my life for 25 years. And then he passed away. And I'm like, everything good in my life is backwards. Like everything good in my life is behind me. All my kids, all my happiness, all my serendipities, all my, everything good. Well, let me tell you, when you feel like the best of life is behind you, it's just devastating. It sucks the life out of you. And at the time, I was coaching a program, and I took 3 weeks off or whatever, and I came back, and everybody's like, "I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry," and I'm like, "I'm sorry too," but I got to turn sorry into a future. If I don't have a future, what am I doing? So I remember I went in the front of the room and I said, "Okay, everybody, thank you so much for your love and prayers. And I don't know how it's possible, but I have to have you stand with me in a place where there's something to look forward to. I don't know how, I don't know what, I don't even see it's possible, but I got to have comrades on a journey to a future. Because if I don't have that, I mean, I might as well just go home and go back to bed. Because I really pretty much slept the whole first year. After Rodney passed away, I couldn't get out of bed. I didn't care. My daughter came to live with me, and she paid the bills, and I was just like, my life is over, and it was over. Life as I knew it was over, which of course is liminal space. Life as you know it ends, and you cross the threshold into a new future that's uncertain and unknown. That is a liminal space. And COVID was the first liminal space I ever felt collectively. It was like, man, where did our world go? But people experience that in new jobs, in divorces, in loss of people, in moving. I mean, so liminal spaces all around us. So I just had to figure out that if I'm going to survive, I got to just keep taking a step. So yeah, it's no rosy path, but the path I've been on gave me my life that I have
Mm.
right now.
So if what would you tell someone right now who's listening to this that might be struggling to see their path or see their light, who are saying the things that you were saying when your husband died about all good things are behind me? What advice would you give them?
Well, first of all, you're responsible for yourself. And if you know you're in a liminal space, you can access the tools that will help you survive. Connect with someone. Find your people that will stand by you. And then I like the analogy of a puzzle. You know, you're making a puzzle. If you just threw it up in there and all the puzzles are down in a mess, you go, now what? Take one piece and put it down. Then another piece and give it a space. Because over time, the picture will develop, but not without action and not without investment and not without trying. But if people hadn't held me together while I'm trying to figure my puzzle pieces, it's so easy to give up because, we're just by ourselves. We're not as strong as we are if we're together. So I'd say get a group, get a plan, do some one thing you can control. Even if it's make your bed, even if it's call your, I'm crazy, right? So like I love to do some crazy things, like really crazy things, like call people I haven't talked to in 20 years and just say, just do things that keep life moving because staying still is going to really hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would say. One of the questions on our Be More conference, which is coming up, is like if somebody was on the edge and they called you, what would you say? Oh, I love that question. I would say, hold on, I'm coming. I'm going to sit on the edge with you. We'll hold hands. This will pass, but it's better together.
Some powerful things you're saying here. So, me, just to kind of sum all this up, when people think of you years from now, what do you want them to remember?
If she can do it, I can do it. Whatever it is. You know, it's so funny how many people are afraid to speak. You know, we have a podcast, or I think it's a power hour coming up about what is the cost of I don't know. Where are you stopped? Like Pink Lady Posse, I can say, I don't know how to build a community. I barely know how to do a Facebook thing. Where you're stopped, just really give it a good look. And actually, you should call me, because I can help. I can get you off of stuck, because stuck is just a yucky place to be. And then, I mean, look, I'm 69, right? How many women wish they had love in their life, but they're not going to do a thing about it? So how fun to have a boot camp where we do online dating together, where you're supported. When somebody says something rude, you just go, oh, well, let's listen to what Taylor Swift said about what you're worth. I mean, where we can just really be support for each other. So anyway, I'm rambling and I'm all excited about it. But the thing of it is, I'm here in total service to humanity. Like, that is what I wake up to be. I go, who can help today? I've got so many resources, and there's no reason every woman can't get what they want.
Thank you so much for being here with us and what you're putting out into the world. Like, I was teared up a couple times because I know how powerful this is. And my wish for women would be to hear your message, to let it sink in, to let all stories that aren't serving them move to the side for a minute and hear you speak, and join a collective community that says, you know, there's a lot of life, that we're going to have so much fun and we can do it together, and we're going to navigate this new space together with people that want to live and thrive. So,
well, I love that. And it's okay to take a baby step. A baby step is listening to the podcast.
That's right.
A baby step is joining a Facebook group. You don't even have to show up hardly, and just listen and watch and let your curiosity and your intuition lead you where you want to go. It's just resources for your great life.
Love that. Well, thank you, Sandy.
Thank you. Thanks for talking to me and asking me and being curious about me. Isn't that what we want? Is somebody who really cares, who wants to know about us?
Yeah, there's one question that I'm dying to know.
Go.
What's your guilty pleasure?
What's my guilty pleasure?
Yeah, what's a guilty pleasure?
Chocolate, chocolate wine, and Italian men.
Oh,
show me your tempo.
I think this whole podcast started with an Italian man on the screen, so we'll just wrap it up right there. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you so much for being with us at Invisible Glitter for women aging with attitude and sparkles. Go to pinkladyposse.com, where you will find replays, links, and show notes. Want to know when the new episodes launch? Be sure and sign up for the glitter list. So join us and enjoy being linked into our community of bold, brilliant women who are redefining their next chapter together. Invisible Glitter is free to listen to and a proud founding podcast of the Liminal Network. Please rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Share this episode and all of your favorite ones with a friend and on social media.